Who said you can't go home? Real Estate Exposed, brought to you by Signature Real Estate. Real Estate Exposed is all about helping homeowners and those who would like to be homeowners and those who would like to get into real estate.
Welcome to Real Estate Exposed, brought to you by Signature Real Estate, where it's more than just real estate. I'm Brandon Roberts, along with Andrew the Sasquatch Lunsford, and our managing broker of our Southwest office, Mr. Thomas Blanchard, back by popular demand.
I don't know if it's by popular demand, but some kind of demand.
It wasn't popular demand. There was one guest from last week that was continually requested to come back, and so we got it back. The Vonda Nabala, Frank Solis, and Marv Rubin Award. Welcome back.
I know. And that is a great-looking award, though. Yeah. You got to admit.
She will be back next week to actually claim that award. So
you'll hear more about it, what she did to get it.
Yeah, it's getting off the road come this weekend. And I think it's going to hit Fremont Street this weekend, though, because it's Beta Galetta's birthday. Happy birthday, Beta.
Our own Gelman.
And I think he's celebrating tonight. Is it tonight you're celebrating down there? Yeah, so...
don't lose that award.
Yeah. You want to borrow the Sasquatch costume and hang out down there?
Might make some extra cash.
Extra cash? That's what I do when real estate, is going downhill. I always do that.
$20 a photo.
$20 a photo, huh? That's what you do. That's where I get it. So that's good. No, I like Fremont Street. I saw there's some concerts and stuff coming back down there. I like to go down there for the free concerts.
Yeah, Las Vegas is open.
Yeah, it is fully open.
Fully.
Speaking of fully open, T-Mobile's fully open.
Fully open.
Yeah. How was? So did you go? You went to the game last night, right?
You looking at me or Brandon?
Well, you're the only one that went.
I didn't go. Brandon didn't go. You must have gone.
I did, courtesy of the Wynn Hotel Casino, and we had a really good time with my buddy Craig LeBeau from Canada.
Craig LeBeau, Mud Mountain Haulers.
Hey, why don't you have him on the show? He's here for hockey.
We'll get him over here.
Yeah, he'll do it anytime.
Maybe next. Well, I don't know if I'll be here next week, but
we won't be here next week.
We have a board meeting, right?
Yes.
So he wouldn't want to hang out with the girls. So, but no, I'd love to get him on. I think that'd be fun. He's a funny guy.
He actually yesterday. I know this is not real estate related, but we're having dinner last night. He actually signed his contract yesterday for Discovery for seasons 2, 3, and 4, I believe.
So this guy's a legit television guy?
He's a goofball.
He's a goofball.
He's a great goofball.
His family, his brother's a goofy guy too.
Yeah.
I like to watch him. He rolls trucks and stuff.
A great goofball that's making money on television.
So he's in Discovery in Canada, and he was on the Weather Channel here.
Weather Channel US, and I think the the second season, which is coming up, will still be Discovery Canada and Weather Channel, but the third season looks like they'll pull Discovery US.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know that there was such a meaning Discovery Europe, Discovery Canada. I didn't know Discovery had so many freaking channels.
Is it like a franchise?
Must be.
Purchased by the countries.
Yeah.
But no, it's pretty cool. I've watched some of those episodes, and it's pretty neat.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Huge hockey fan, and has purchased real estate here in Las Vegas through me, thank goodness. And
I met him because he's the handler of the Sasquatch.
Yeah, he's a Sasquatch. Yeah.
Sasquatch handler.
He gives out a lot of hockey tickets. That's why I like him.
Yeah, no, he does. He does a lot for everybody. He's a great guy. So, but let's try to get him on, Beta. Put him on the list. That's good. And then Tom, let's go over to you for the weather. I'm just kidding.
Goodness.
Let's go over to you for some stats.
Well, again, just like the weather, the housing market is hot.
Yes,
it's
it is.
On fire still. I mean, look, I don't know if anybody's heard this, and probably not if you're just listening to this, but we have a new median sales price of $385,000. So we keep inching up to that $400,000 level.
I think we'll hit it this year.
I believe so too.
So over under, when does it hit? Over under August.
Over.
You think after August?
Oh yeah.
September, October.
It'll be close to the very end of the year, unless something miraculously happens. But the thing is that the available listings that we have are at the $400,000 mark, right? That's the median point for them. So as long as that keeps going up, and it has been a little bit, a month, so we'll be okay.
You want to know what I find interesting in all that
Please
is,
tell me.
as our median price goes up, it's what you can get for $1 million now. The quality of home is different. You know, I was looking at
Those were
homes-
like $600,000 homes
not long
a few
ago.
years ago.
Yeah,
It's amazing how many more $1 million homes are selling
exactly.
that we're paying commissions on.
Yeah.
We talked last week. One of our agents' team just sold over a $16 million high-rise unit, which is pretty intense.
Huge.
Yeah. But there's just a lot of $1 million homes. It's almost like that's the median.
Yep.
And I just want to also let everybody know that if they're comparing it to this time last year, with prices and listings and everything else, you really can't do that because we were just coming out of the COVID lockdown and things were just starting to get back into fray in May of last year, right, during 2020.
We came out that early?
Well,
Because I think we just came out. But I get what you're saying because that was
April 12th was the drop down bottom of the real estate market during COVID, and then went back and then climbed all the way back, and still climbing.
The stat I'm seeing here is local home prices are now 22% higher than they were 1 year ago.
Yeah, but that was during
Wow.
COVID
So
when
May
everybody
of
was
last year.
bailing and everything else, and people were like freaking out and getting out of deals, and I'm not going to pay that much.
That's right. I almost forgot about all that.
I remember
All the
because-
iBuyers pulled out.
Yeah. And that was it was a brutal time.
And I remember us having a discussion, and I was talking to you, and I said, "Do you think this is going to be a problem for the real estate industry?" He's like, "No, they'll go away." You're right.
Yeah, whenever stuff turns a little bit bad for the market, iBuyers and all these other come-latelys all go back into the bushes where they belong.
Well, some of them, their business model works in certain market conditions and doesn't in others. So
But be an all-weather realtor.
all-weather
An
realty.
all-weather realtor.
There's the new name of a new brokerage, All-Weather Realty. Not just on the Weather Channel, Discovery Canada.
Right here.
So I have a question for both of you, as the Southwest broker and as our corporate broker, because we see each other every day, but I'm pretty solidified in everything that I do, and I don't have a lot of questions. But are you guys seeing, with other agents, are you seeing questions on appraisals with our prices moving so fast? I haven't had a problem with appraisals yet, but I've heard some stories, and I've been meaning to ask you guys.
So we will have an appraiser, I think, in a couple weeks at our sales meeting, because there are certain issues, and it's strange on because as prices go up, they've got to be able to defend their reports as well. So they've got to have that documentation and the comps to do it. So they get nervous about doing it too. But one of the things that, and even talking with Shelley, is that a lot of people are writing things like the buyer will pay $10,000 if the appraisal comes in low, up to $10,000 to match the purchase price, and miraculously the appraisals are coming in that $10,000 low, because it basically protects that appraiser, and they're not going to kill the deal. And so I think a lot of those buyers that are putting that in are actually hurting themselves.
So I've heard this. I tried to confirm most rumors, but I heard that there's some lenders out there with appraisers that they're doing almost like an addendum on saying that they don't feel that this house is valued at that. What's that about? Do you
I haven't heard that. Have you?
heard that?
Yeah, in some of the secondary markets, they have to do an additional write-up so that they can sell, the paper on explaining why this transaction is okay, why it's not going to fail, all that kind of stuff.
Okay,
To back
that's
up,
what it is.
To back up
their the value and the numbers. Let's face it. Everybody's worried about, the shoe's going to fall. We're going to have another 2010, another great, recession and stuff like this. But all of these people that are buying these homes are putting a lot of skin in the game, and that's what everybody forgets. Everybody forgets that back in 2006, 2007, people were able to buy a house with none of their money, zero.
Right.
And during this time, we've had a ton of people buy homes and put a lot of skin in the game, so they're not going to so easily walk away when they have some of their money put away in the house.
The other
already.
thing is not only are they putting money down, they're also getting a decent interest rate, which isn't an adjustable rate or something that's going to jump.
Yeah.
And so at that point, they're sitting better in the home. In fact, there's a lot of equity in homes right now.
Yep.
And your 2.5 interest rate versus your 5, 6, 7% interest rate. Look how much more value you're getting in your home, or how much more buying power you have because of that cheap interest rate. My problem is I don't see how we can keep rates that low forever.
So there was an article I read, actually read it in the Realtor magazine that came out from NAR, and it was on.
You read those things?
Just in prep for the show. I'm like, I don't have Vonda and Shelley here. I got to carry the show.
You do.
So I grab Andrew and I say, come on, help me carry the show because I got Tom on here. So,
you're not wearing a nice shirt today,
I know,
by the way. It's Friday.
Every
no
now and
flowers.
they were, it was Lawrence Yun, who's our chief economist for NAR. Amazing to listen to. But he was talking about that their Biden administration is basically saying they're going to hold down short-term rates through the end of the year. But that does not guarantee mortgage rates will stay low because of the inflation that we're seeing, and they can't really keep those down. So they anticipate that mortgage rates are still going to climb, but short-term interest rates will stay low, which means your cars, your trucks, stuff like that.
Look, it's just the best time to buy or sell a house right now. And I've been saying that. Hold on. And I've been saying that, right, since 2020. Because it was. No matter what it is, no matter when it is, it's the right time because that's the time you're able to do it. So
people have asked me, is it the time, do you sell your properties or do you hang on to them? And the old lawyer term, it depends. I've sold some. I bought one. I've refinanced some. And so it just depends on what the property is and what your long-term goal is for that property.
Yep.
Because you did refi this year too.
I did, and I'll give a shout out to one of our agents that is selling the same model house that I have. She's not on my team, but Rexlin, I believe is her name.
Yeah.
She has my model home listed in my neighborhood for
a heck of a lot more.
A whole lot more than what I paid for.
So you're a happy man.
So Rexlin, even though I want to sell my own house, you sell that one, you come talk to me. I may have you sell mine. Yeah. But the problem is, where do I go?
Right.
What do you do? You double your money. Where do you go? What do you do?
Well, that's the thing, right? And as you're seeing some of the home builders are building more. We don't have as many homes being sold, but inventory is coming up just a little bit. So people that were frustrated because they couldn't find a house that would fit their needs or their wants, I think now that's starting to come through. And I think some of the sales that have dipped was because some of the people that were out there buying finally got frustrated enough to say, you know what, I'm just not going to do it right now. So for those that went away, decided it was just too much, within the next month or two, you should be back in because we should have plenty of stuff.
Do you have the numbers handy? Because don't we still only have like a little bit over than half a month inventory?
Well, we have 2,031 homes that are listed that have no offer on them, right? There's 6,670 properties listed for sale. Some have offers, some don't.
But those numbers were at the end of May.
Yeah.
Right? So we're a little bit past. It could be adjusted.
Yeah, we're 11 days.
It could be a month now. We could have a month's worth of inventory.
Yeah.
But
you know, it's what I'm trying to say is that it's breaking open a little bit. So if you've been frustrated in the past, stop being so frustrated. It's probably the same way across the United States. I haven't looked at it yet, but no matter what, don't let the prior frustration stop you from making the move that you really want to make.
You know, you say it's everywhere, and I really believe it is. I was on the phone this morning before I came to the office with a client that lives in, owns over 100 properties in Naples, Florida, and he's moving to Las Vegas, and he's in that $1 to $2 million category, and he was telling me stories. So this is a guy who knows a lot about the market. He owns over 100 properties. And they're all over Ohio, Florida. I don't know. Don't have a tight relationship, but obviously there's 100 every. You know, it's a lot of homes to own.
Yeah.
He was telling me how tight the market is in Naples, and the other places he's dealing with, and yet he's still coming to Vegas to live and buy a home.
Oh, because Vegas is a cool place to live.
Yeah.
It's a great place to live. So, but look at it this way: if you think our market's tough or tight, right? Do you know what the median home price is in Reno?
It's like close to $500,000, isn't it?
550,000, right? And
Todd
they
Gizmo's happy.
they had 368 units sold in May.
That's all.
That's all, and 433 new listings. That's all, and their sold price per square foot was $305, and their active inventory is 245 homes.
Oh man!
So if you think it's tough here, can you imagine up there? I mean, that's crazy. Yeah. But and then you look at the other stats on Gardnerville, median price is $560,000
in Gardnerville.
And there's 50 houses for sale.
What's in Gardnerville?
Probably one house. I think I've driven through there. Isn't that on your way to?
I think the president of the state's in Gardnerville. I think Brad lives and works in Gardnerville.
Brad Spires. So he's skewing the numbers.
Yeah,
a little
Brad
bit.
Spires is doing it by himself.
President of Nevada Association of Realtors, or Nevada Realtors. Carson City. Median price is $455, and Fernley. Take a guess.
Fernley,
Nevada.
250,000.
It's
Higher.
more than us, right?
No, it's
350 or
352.
Yeah.
So
wow.
that's just
And
kind of
Fernley.
crazy, huh?
Fernley.
Fernley.
You know what the numbers I'd like to pull out from last year to this year, even though they're on our MLS?
They're skewed.
I would like to see. I would like to see what percentage of increase of sales, because I'm starting to see more and more people go over there just per ump. I want to see how much home prices have increased over there and what percentage of sales.
Tom used to have a brokerage out in
I can
Pahrump.
tell you, Pahrump is on fire.
Fire.
On fire.
Fire.
Literally
I
on
know.
fire. I mean, they just had a fire just down the street. But no, Pahrump's a booming thing, and that's if you want a place that's reasonably priced. It has been reasonably priced, and still probably is.
And great homes with lots of space.
And space, right? Space. That's,
And they redid the highway.
yeah, that's where you want to go, right? And it's an easy commute. I did it for quite a while, from here to there every single day. So it's not that bad. Now, the nice highway, easy drive.
Why did you put an office out in Pahrump?
Something to try. Well,
Because
look,
at that time Pahrump wasn't growing.
No, it wasn't growing. But I found an office that when I got into Pahrump, I could either turn right, go to my office, or I could turn left and go to the brothel. So every day
you had a choice.
Every day I had a choice to
Did
do
you
the
make
right
the right
thing.
choice every day?
Pretty
No,
much.
he made the left choice every day.
I heard
much.
I heard that brothel has a cafe. Is that true?
Yes.
And I heard they have great chicken wings.
Sherry's had a great lunch, right, and food. The Chicken Ranch, not so much. I have a great bar. But those are the two choices that you have.
When I think
that and McDonald's. Can't have McDonald's every day.
When I think lunch, I think brothels. You know, that's what.
Hey, in Salt Lake, their strip clubs are different than down here. They actually have good lunches and good.
But they don't take off all the clothes, just a little.
But you could go play pool. You can go hang out. You don't have to sit on Skid Row.
Right. You don't have to. You don't
At the
have to
stage.
get a lap dance
Anyway,
all day.
Anyway.
Yeah, I was wondering where this goes.
None
this
of
is
this
a real
stuff-
estate show. I was wondering where we're going.
None of those restaurants are on Vonda's list of good places to eat in town.
Oh, this is Vonda. I forgot.
Yeah, this is Vaughn in the show.
No, this
We
isn't
really-
Vonda's show. This is my
your
show.
show.
We
Okay.
really brought it up to snuff.
This will be Vonda's show next week when me and Tom aren't here, and it'll be her and Shelly can fight it out.
Yeah.
Shelly's in Hawaii. Vonda is
Iron Maiden. Congratulations.
Iron Maiden, Shield Maiden. She finished. I haven't heard anything from her. I've seen some communication in the app, so I know she lived.
Yeah.
But she should be flying back today, I believe.
Well, congratulates to her. Now she's going to
Well,
be even
let's-
harder than when she left.
She's gonna be mean.
Yeah. She's going to be
Or
be shielded.
Or maybe she'll be softer.
No, it'll be a great. I can guarantee you, without even talking to her, that it was a great experience for her. So, and she probably found out a lot about herself, which is really cool. At least I did when I went through it. So, not about her, about myself.
Right.
So,
self-exploration is always good.
Well, depends. That's the exposed part. That's why Tom's here. All right. So,
What else do you have on your great list?
well, I wanted to talk about the Knights a little bit. I know we brushed on the fact that you went to T-Mobile. But we've had two tough series.
2 tough ones.
And coming in, and I'm hoping that the next one's not as tough, but I want them to stay sharp. But what do you think about that Colorado series?
Great series, great 2 teams that matched up together, and the cream rose to the top. That's all I can say. I mean, Avalanche, as far as the sports books goes in town, they were picked to win it all. I mean, President's Cup winners, that's another thing. President's Trophy winners.
They've never won.
Smythe, all that.
They never win the Stanley Cup.
They have won,
but not very. It's rare.
It's just a
myth.
Jinx. They say it's a jinx, but it's not. Look,
well, if it is or it isn't, I'm glad we didn't win that last game against Colorado, and they ended up with it. So
the Stanley Cup is the hardest professional sports achievement to win in all of sports. I don't care.
What? You only have to win 16 games.
Yeah. But the next series, Montreal will be different. I mean, Colorado lost it, us being down 2-0 in the series. Vegas just played every game like it was Game 7. And to be honest with you, I can understand why we lost the first game in Colorado. They were jet lagged.
And the altitude.
That's what I was going to say. Altitude, all those factors. No rest. Colorado had a week's rest.
And they were ready.
Yeah.
And they were ready.
And they're a good team. They're a damn good
awesome team. Yeah. Second game, we probably should have won.
Yeah, turnover in overtime.
Turnover in overtime. But games 3 and 4 at home, oh my gosh. And I wish I'd gone to Colorado to see Game 5. But Game 6 was just spectacular. And speaking of Craig again, he got us tickets for – this is a good news for us because Montreal's had a few days extra rest. Now we have home ice advantage all the way through the Stanley Cup now. Now we're the team to beat. So there'll be some different parameters, but I'm glad the NHL decided that we were speculating. Well, we were speculating last night after the end of the game, all right, is the game going to be Saturday or Sunday? Has to be one of those 2 days. It's not. It's Monday.
Good.
So our first game's Monday, so we got plenty of time to rest. First game's at home. I think it'll be electric again. I think it's going to be a 6 p.m. start times Monday and Wednesday. There's no quarantine issues now with teams going back and forth, only for the NHL, going back and forth in between Canada and here, or Montreal would be Canada. Yeah, Canadians.
That's their first time being able to leave the country.
Yeah. And that's another thing we were speculating last night with had dinner with some Canadian guys and also Craig. And the Canadian teams only played the Canadian teams. And it's almost – Canadians are not the smartest people in the world. Sorry, Canadians.
You heard it here first.
But they know their hockey. But they were saying really all the teams in Canada are subpar to all the U.S. teams, even though most of our teams are filled up with Canadians. I think we probably have 60% Canadians on Golden Knights roster, maybe more. But so I don't know why the Canadian teams don't fare as well as the.
You think it's just the style of hockey they play? Because it seems like even the East plays different than the West.
Yeah, I've said this year at least, the West was the hardest division to get through.
Oh.
But then you go and you look at the Metropolitan, and then you look at the other teams on the East Coast. Tampa Bay has Vasilevsky. He's like 6'6". My opinion, it'll end up being Vegas and Tampa Bay, and it's hard getting a puck past the guy that fills the whole net. That's the reason that Walrus wins all the time on the Geico commercials. Just throwing a fish, and if you fill in the whole net, it's hard to get by it.
Yeah.
That's that's good. And the other team, the team that we've also struggled with, like we've struggled big time with Minnesota. We've finally got past them, right? We actually even struggled with St. Louis up till this year, and we finally broke through that. The other team is Tampa Bay.
Yep.
Like I don't know what our record was then. We don't play them as much, but every time I've watched them play, especially here, we've lost to them.
Well, different teams have different styles. We're a very fast-paced team. Some teams are more defensive and aggressive, but I think what gets us is Pete DeBoer, and I almost have to spit every time I say that name. But man, he's grown on me. I love him. I miss Coach Gallant. Joe Gallant's great. And by the way, Team Canada won the the Worlds, so I expect Gallant to find another space in the NHL maybe next year. mentioning some teams on the East Coast maybe for him. But Pete DeBoer's done a great job.
Yeah, he has.
No complaints. I used to spit when I said his name before, but
you were very mad when
I was mad. I thought it was such a slap in the face to the Vegas fans, and you know, I'm not the smartest guy either, but I'm a very loyal person. I expect loyalty in the people I deal with on a daily basis because I'm loyal to them.
Right.
And I just felt that we were not loyal to the lot.
You know, it seemed a little abrupt, but we don't know what happens behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing is when hockey was first announced that it could be coming here, you jumped right on that.
Oh, yeah.
Have you always been like a big hockey fan, or you just knew it was going to be fun here?
When I was a state trooper in Virginia, we used to get free, much like you when you were in.
I didn't get anything free.
I
paid for everything. I paid for every donut, every cup of coffee. I paid for everything.
I love going to 7-Eleven. I was young and single and 22, and at 7-Eleven you could get free crackers and chili and fountain sodas. I lived on crumbled up crackers, chili, and cheese.
See that? Nachos.
Yeah.
That was before they had nachos.
That's the same way. You're living now, baby, the same way I lived 30 years ago. It's a great time in your life. It's not going to get any better, buddy. But the Washington Redskins, or the team, what are they called now? Just Washington.
Washington.
The Baltimore Orioles, back in the old day, because the Northern Virginia area borders D.C. and Maryland right there, and the Washington Capitals. I have old Washington Capitals jerseys that Rhonda won't let me pull out of the closet just because she's not a fan.
I'll let you pull them out and we'll burn them.
Okay. Well, you and Rhonda can have.
No, you hang on to them.
They're sentimental.
Yeah.
They're so old that they're like the heavy cloth. Like, remember those football jerseys we used to wear? You know, the heavy cloth. They were more like that.
What makes you think I played football?
Yeah, I know you had to play football. You were either a nose guard or a center.
No.
Yeah, with a head like that, you had to play football.
With that big melon. But no, I've been a hockey fan for 30 years. I was a casual fan. I would watch maybe a Washington Capitals once a series, one game at each series or something. But now I'm just, God, I follow so many teams. And, you know, we have the Golden Knights Beast, not Best, but Beast fan club there, which I put a post out there today about a Vegas fan. You know, we got to be better sometimes.
Yeah, you were telling me about that, the guy that took the Avalanche guy's flag.
Took an Avalanche flag at the end. It's just something that's totally uncalled for. I mean, we're a tourist town. Our industry depends on people coming to town and being hospitable. And, you know, that's one thing about hockey. There's always alcohol involved. There's always beer involved. You noticed I strolled in here at 11 o'clock today. It was a late night last night.
And they love to fight, though. They want,
but I think
fighting.
I think people need to learn to win with class.
Yeah, win with class. Absolutely.
You know, because in reality, it sucks to lose.
It does.
Right? And it sucks to spend that kind of money, travel across the country, and lose in somebody else's. Yep. And it sucks when the Washington Capitals came across the country and we lost to them.
Yeah.
Yep. But when we would play
my
like
worst sporting event memory, by the way.
That one? You just left.
I had to. I actually went to my car and cried. Brandon and I were at the final game, season 1, together, sitting together, and I was like, Brandon, I got to go. When it was all over with and they won, they're celebrating, Brandon's like, it's a Stanley Cup. I got to see the trophy.
I got to see it come out.
I got to see it come out. I said, I don't want to see it till it's ours. And I just left. We normally leave together, but I just left him in the seats.
With your daughters.
Oh, were they still? Yeah, I left them too.
Yeah, no, we watched that, but you know,
the sensitive beast.
Thing is, when it comes here, I probably won't have the money to buy the ticket. No, but I've been a casual hockey person. We used to have a team in Salt Lake called the Golden Eagles, and really it was like a like minor league team,
ECHL or below.
Yeah, and so the only time they would sell out was when they do bikini night. So they'd have some girls on the ice with bikinis, and that place would be packed. Other than that, it never was. But we could get tickets. Dan's Supermarket, we could get them for like behind the goal for like $10 a game, and so we'd go to those because it was fun. And then they left, and it became the Grizzlies.
You know what you can get for $10 at T-Mobile?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Half a beer.
If you're, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
If you can get someone to split it with you.
Well, Craig and he forgot his credit cards last night, and they're a cashless facility now, too.
Yeah.
So everything has to be on credit cards.
Well, they are too.
That's
I
a smart-
knew the stadium was.
See, that TV guy, he's smart. He forgot his credit card.
His credit card.
Imagine
He's
that.
Canadian.
Yeah.
That probably wouldn't have worked anyway. And by the way, 20 U.S. dollars is the equivalent to 150,000 Canadian dollars. That's what I tell him.
That's funny. But you got me hooked on the Knights here. You know, you took me to, and thank you. You took me to a bunch of games that first season. You had season tickets. And then the next year I went on some tickets with you. We upgraded into the club seats and spent way too much money.
Way too much money, but we had way too much fun for a while.
We did. We had, between the two of us, we had like 8 seats, and we had a lot of people go, and we had a really good time. And then
We never took Tom, did we?
Nope.
well, we didn't know Tom then.
Yeah, we knew him. We just didn't.
He was just little Tom. No, but we did. We had a lot of fun. And then we went one more year. We down to 4 seats and still had a great time. And
And we still go. I mean, here's the thing. If you're a season ticket holder, hockey's like baseball. If you're a season ticket holder and if you have the
It's a
time,
lot of games.
It's work. It's a lot of work to go to
it got to
every
be a
game.
chore to get down there and it was fun. Don't get me wrong, when you're there, it's fun. But to get out of work, get down there, and sometimes it's 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So,
And being 53 now, I'm happy watching hockey at home
yeah.
and going straight to bed.
Yeah, because you can track the puck a lot better on the TV screen because they do half the work for you.
And the beer's cheaper.
you know, Craig has a theory, and I actually agree with his theory. I mean, he thanks to Wynn last night for giving us great seats. We're about 5-6 rows back. And, you know, you can hear all the hits and stuff on the ice, but you can't see portions of the rink. You know, you have to go from where you're sitting to the Jumbotron, where you're sitting to the Jumbotron as it goes back and forth. Into the first period, Craig went to his upper seats up there and just stood in the second level. I mean, he played
So he
minor
can
league
look it
hockey
down.
just so he can track everything. He likes watching the players come on and off the bench, and he likes watching the flow of the game. And you don't get that close. But his theory is the higher seats should be the more expensive seats, not the lower seats, because
Yeah, the lower ones, you're closer to the ice, you get different experience, but you actually see the plays develop and
you see
everything
it much
else
better
up
in
top.
the
Yeah.
cheap seats. Yeah,
But
there's no cheap seats.
But
now.
it's scary up there because it's kind of steep.
Yeah, especially if you have vertigo. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but hockey's awesome. Looking forward to the next round and hopefully all the way to the Stanley Cup. But let's get back to real estate a little bit. How long have you been doing real estate here in Vegas?
Well, I didn't start with you, but I'm definitely finishing with you. I'm trying to think. I mean, it's 12 years now, I guess.
Did you just announce your retirement?
I don't think.
No.
You know, one thing, I don't think I'll ever leave real estate. I enjoy real estate so much, and my business is different than most. I get to pick and choose the clients I want to work with. I don't have to hustle as hard. I have once again, we were talking about before, loyalty. I'm a big loyalty type person, and most of the people I deal with that have done business with before. I mean, you've seen it. I have clients at 4, 5, 6 homes, and I enjoy it that much. And I enjoy watching the numbers. Enjoy helping people with their most expensive purchase now that they're probably ever going to make, and doing the right thing. And I don't think I'll ever leave.
But it's not your first career. So you were a Virginia State Trooper.
Yep. State police in Virginia right out of college. Worked as a road trooper for 5 years. Ended up with the governor of Virginia at the time was George Allen Jr. George Allen Sr.'s father was the Washington Redskins football coach before. And George Allen Jr. became governor of the state of Virginia. Worked on his protection staff. Went to the FBI Academy. Did all the behavioral stuff with the FBI Academy.
But you got to tell us about the best story ever.
No, not on this show.
Yes, you can. This is Real Estate Exposed.
I don't.
This is your claim to fame.
I don't think it's claim to fame. But by the way,
everybody knows this.
No, it's a very private story that I've shared with select individuals.
Well, it's just us three.
I will
Trust
tell
me.
you.
There's no one else.
Is there anybody on there?
And Kim.
Yeah, and Kim.
And Kim's on
I
there,
ran into Kim last night at the game too.
Yeah. Big fan. She's a big
Huge
fan.
and knowledgeable fan too. I'm surprised at her. She has lots of hockey knowledge. She surprises me sometimes. But I was flipping through the channels the other day and saw that story pop on, and they said, and 2 police officers found whatever they found and put it in the 7-Eleven box and went on. I'm like, I should at least get a name credit out of that. You just don't say 2 police officers.
Well, you won't even give yourself credit for it, so why
what-
would they?
Well, you can't just do that. You have to tell us the story.
You don't even know what it is,
No, I
do you?
don't. I have no
Oh,
clue.
you do know what
No,
it
I
is.
don't know.
You didn't hear that in leadership school?
No.
He wasn't paying
That's
attention.
Well,
you were
he
the-
came into class after me.
Yeah.
So Nevada, for anybody who doesn't know, Nevada has a state leadership school. They choose 16 realtors to do a year-long program out of 18,000. So, and by the way, all 3 of us has been through that program. I think that's pretty.
Tom's going to be the dean next year.
Are you going to be a dean?
Yeah.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Well, Les, we'll see.
I'm looking
It's the
for-
last year of the
it'd be la-
leadership.
I think, yeah.
Is it going to be the last
No,
year?
no, no.
no.
I joke with him like he's going to ruin the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing, but
No.
he's going to do great.
Because honestly, it's the best program for
Yeah.
any realtor out there that wants to gain knowledge and much like the program that Vondon is at now, learn about yourself and make changes. Because right after that program, what did I do?
You changed your whole business.
I changed my whole business and actually got rid of some business connections.
You actually took a step back. You're probably happier and making
Much happier.
better money now. Maybe not the amounts, but
Yeah.
actually being able to keep more of it.
And not being stressed out is the
Yeah.
biggest thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
not being stressed out. But best program ever. That's the first time publicly I'd ever told that story because of that program. Because they said,
You told me it before.
It was
I don't
storytelling.
think
It
I
was
told.
storytelling.
Where did
that-
I hear it from then?
I don't know.
You told me. How would I know otherwise?
So tell us the story. Tell us the story.
I'll tell you when you told us.
Okay.
We were we were doing franchise sales training here, and we had all the franchisees from across the country, and there's something interesting about yourself, and that's when you told it.
But that was probably after I went to leadership.
Nope.
No?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I don't.
I like to
We'll
think-
tease them. We'll make people, whoever's actually watching this podcast out there, we'll tease them. If somebody comes in and requests, I'll tell you in private.
So,
Pretty important thing.
He'll tell you in private. It
so tell me. But you got this whole alter,
has to do with the private.
right. You have a whole alter
There you
ego
go. You got a
thing,
request.
right? I want to hear it. But you have a whole different persona with this whole Sasquatch thing. How did that come up? And what does it really help having that alter ego kind of thing?
I thought it was silly at first, but the first client, the first high dollar client I ever got, when I say high dollar, when you're getting that, every realtor, when they start out, they would just want to sell homes. And then you finally say, well, I want to sell, my goal is to sell my first $1 million home, And I started dealing with some A celebrities, minor B celebrities, stuff like that in town, and finally started working into some, I won't say better class of people, because I'll sell a $50,000 condo. It's fine
Right.
with me. It is, as long as the numbers, I want to make whatever client, and I treat them all the same. Doesn't matter who they are or what their income bracket they're in. Treat them all the same. But everybody wants to sell that first $1 million home. Oh, Lyman knows the story.
And he's
of course he does. And that's a good hockey buddy with a different company. He's a great guy.
Look at that. Keith's got.
I can't believe
Keith's
Keith-
got his award too.
Yeah, he's got his award up there. But that's okay.
But
I want him to bring back the seat cushions.
I'm surprised he's not complaining about the damn red countdown on the MLS.
We're gonna get to that. But let's go back to your story here.
But anyway, one of the first high-end clients I had, I walked in. I went to school at Eastern Kentucky University. They have a great law enforcement program there and got a scholarship to do that through the Virginia State Police. But I walked into this house and did not know the people that I was going into. I was their second realtor, by the way. They'd already had an issue with the other realtor, and somebody had mentioned my name and go in. And the girl I walked in, who was a former Playboy playmate, by the way, her cover girl, and her husband, who is one of the biggest show promoters. He's done like The Who and like some big shows, and it was their house. The show that she worked for was ending, and she I guess she was the wardrobe manager for Britney Spears or whatever. Very beautiful home on the Northwest, and I gave her my business card. I was like, she's one of the first clients. And, Andrew Sasquatch Lunsford had the picture of the Sasquatch. And she looked at me and she says, "You're not from here, are you?" And I said, well, I've lived here at that time 15 years or so. And she goes, and I could tell she's a country girl. She's like, I'm from Kentucky. And by the way, your wife's from Kentucky.
I know.
Yeah, no. And she goes, would you believe I've seen a Sasquatch? And I'm like, I got this. I got this listing. This is gonna be a good one. Turns out she was at Eastern Kentucky University the same time I was there. She really believes that she saw a Sasquatch.
It was him
in Kentucky. Her husband, who is English, is just sitting at this beautiful dining room table, shaking his head like this. But I knew who the decision maker was in the house. She was the decision maker. And I walked out with the listing and sold that thing in under 30 days after they'd had all it as a hero. And I'm like, it's almost like UFOs or anything. Somebody has the slightest belief in something, they'll trust it forever.
I'm amazed at how much that has caught on. So I remember the day I'm in my car driving, and you call, and Mike is in the car with me, and you said, hey, I'm going to get this costume made. You know, it's going to be X number of dollars. I'm going to go to California and get it fitted. And he says, what do you think about? And he says, it's going to be a Sasquatch in that. And I was like, huh? And Mike goes, great idea. And then we talk for a minute, and then he hangs it up. And I'm like, what do you mean that's a great idea? I mean, I didn't see it, right? Yeah. Because I'm the kind of person that I'm more of the reserved, kind of laid back. I'm not going to wear something bright or big or furry that's going to attract attention to me.
And
but
hot.
And hot, yeah. But you have no qualms about it. And the people that have followed you and the way people have responded to you at the hockey games, in the real estate industry, in the charity, in everything. I remember we were going out, it was an Anaheim game. And on the way out, you were sticking stickers in different places. And they were doing scavenger hunts looking for these damn stickers.
Yep.
Sasquatch stickers.
You want to know the funniest story before Tom came to be a part of us? We did that to him one night. Tom was sitting in front of us.
Oh, yeah?
In the hockey game. I've got a picture on my phone. And I slapped his back, say, hey, great game, Tom. And
we did that to a few people.
Walked down, you know. That used to be our thing. Me, you, and Mike would go and we'd grab a sticker at the end of the game.
Yeah, I've been touched by the Sasquatch.
But you know what? I enjoy it. I enjoy it because it's a way to give back to people. You know, I'm not sure we're going to do the Sasquatch this year. It took an emotional toll on me last year. It's a lot of work. I mean, you see me Thanksgiving through Christmas, my office is just full of toys. It's rough doing that sometimes, and without a 401 or 501c3 charity. I got to get that done. Mm-hmm. It's just tough. It can mess with things. And, you know, of course, when people give, they want a way to everything to be tax deductible, and I don't blame them. I do too. But it's tough. I like it. I like it because I've never had a little kid, and the costume's just a little bit scary. We wanted to make it friendly. I actually have 3 different heads. And yeah, no, it's different. But none of them are happy like the Harry and the Hendersons guy. But I have so many kids that run up to him, jump in his arms and stuff like that. That's what I like. I enjoy the I don't know, just the fun it brings. And he doesn't talk, which is different for me. And you would think sales is all about talking and get to knowing. In that costume, there's no getting to know anybody.
But they know you already.
They know you, and then they come to you. That's how it is.
I remember sitting at the hockey game, and somebody wanted you to come out into the area because we're in the club area, and it's a little bit freakish that somebody's like summons you out to the thing. But she had Sasquatch socks.
Every 2 weeks,
just a gift.
Yeah, every couple of weeks, I get a couple of gifts. You know, and it fuels that fun, and it fuels things that we do.
Put that one with him and Craig up.
Which one?
Sasquatch and Craig.
Man, he's got
right there.
He's got the ability to do things.
Yeah, see that one?
You know where that interesting story about that photo right there? Guess where that's at?
Where?
Take a guess.
It's in Colorado.
Yep, Denver. That's Denver 2 years ago. That's Craig, Mud Mountain Hauler Craig.
So that mask doesn't look too far off from your face. Is it?
It's the hair. It's a wig.
Is it pieced on, or it's just
no? It's
full?
They're fitted head. Actually, even being a trooper and doing underwater demolition, scuba stuff like that, that's the scariest process I've ever been through. Meaning,
Squatch.
when
donuts.
When they did that head, they cover your head in plaster. I went to an actual FX studio.
I went out there with you once.
Yeah, once.
It was.
You didn't like breathing through the straw? Through your
That's
nose?
what happened.
Yeah.
They put the straws in my nose there, and you're completely covered. And it's a very much sensory deprivation type thing. And one of the straws got full, and my breathing was limited. And it's the first time I think I've ever really panicked.
Yeah,
because there's no getting that stuff off. Once it's drying, their only choice is to take a X-Acto knife and start hacking. And I couldn't breathe, and that was a little scary. So it's not something I want to do again. But there are a couple of styrofoam heads. You want to talk about how you know you need to lose weight? Have somebody do a
form mold of your face,
and then,
mold of your face,
and then it doesn't fit anymore.
Yeah, and then take that you put the head over and stuff, and then take it off and look and say, "Man, you're fat." That'll motivate you.
The head shrunk.
Yeah.
So
how did we get here? I don't know.
You should have just told the story.
Yeah. We had to fill in the time. We expected you to tell the story.
All right. So the red countdown. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, up on the screen.
Yeah.
And by the way, we should have done that a long time ago.
Put a countdown or got rid of it?
No, got rid of it.
Well,
I understand.
There's certain people that will disagree
upset
with you.
Yeah. Because look, anytime you move cheese, that's the way it's been. They get mad because they can't find it. They're used to it. Whatever.
It's like 160 days away, though.
So I love this person with
away.
all my heart and think that she is a very special individual and one heck of a broker. But I don't know who you're talking about. But
I know.
Janet doesn't want it?
Janet's having a hard time with it because she's worried about the map thing. Tom's going to teach a class
I'm
on
teaching
mapping.
a class on Monday on mapping.
But I can imagine. But it's those people that are in Janet's category that are the ones upset about it. Us, the millennials and the other people.
Janet's like, how do I know to draw a octagon in this area when I don't even know where 101 is? I just type it in. And it's like, you have to know where she knows.
Yeah.
And you can still use zip codes, and you can still, and there's an
what?
overlay.
And one day she'll adjust. Wait and see.
Yeah. But I know Keith's doing it. Says tune into my live Facebook. He's going to go off on this.
Telling it now. No, he's talking about telling my story now.
Telling the story.
Oh.
That's what he's talking about. Don't do it, Keith.
Do it. Do it. Let's bring him on.
The whole area numbers thing was one of the biggest issues. One, it's outdated and doesn't fit our community anymore because it just doesn't. It's not relative to the areas that we're in right now.
We're still listening.
All right. And is it necessary to put 130 days out? Look, we've been through my time on the board. We've been accused of not being transparent, not communicating, not letting the folks know.
It's your last year on the board, so all that'll change.
I know, right? So here we put a countdown to let everybody know, and lo and behold, that countdown is working because people are paying attention to it. They're trying to figure out what the heck's this countdown for, and they're learning about it. So I think it was a great thing. I know Keith Lynham thinks it's a horrid thing. It's 15 seconds of your life, Keith. Get over it.
To do what?
It's only on there for 15 seconds.
You can click it. You can click it off and turn it off anytime.
Okay, well,
but
Keith will leave it on because he's that kind of a guy.
I'm gonna leave it on, and I don't even care. I don't even know where the area numbers are. But the funny thing is it doesn't matter how long that countdown's on there. People are going to use it right up to the last minute anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
And here's the thing. There's an overlay in the maps that has the different areas.
Yeah, but
so it'll be okay. It'll be okay.
I've never searched for a home.
I don't either.
Based on a 101 to
no,
406 number.
It's too
because
wide of an area.
Because you got in after it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Me too. I don't even know where they are. Apparently 101's up in the northeast somewhere.
I hate trying to look at the damn map that I had to print out and have it on my wall to figure out what
Those were
areas.
everywhere when I first
know,
moved here in 2008. They were on everybody's wall.
I know, it was one of the first things I got from a title company.
Because
it was a big deal, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense, right? It's not like start up the top left corner and go 101, 102, 103, 104 like a Thomas Brothers map. No, this has 101 here, 102 over there, 103 over there. There was no rhyme or reason other than whoever sat there and decided, let's put this here and that there, and there's no functionality to it. I get it. A lot of searches are set up that way, but change your search. Update your database.
I just wish I had those old maps because they're going to be collector's items.
Well, I saw somebody. I think it was J.C. Melvin that showed us one of the old original MLS books.
The books?
Yeah.
Do you have any of those?
They were upset about those
so
too.
when I started real estate in 1996, and I still seen those. They were there, but we were actually on an MLS system where you had like a blinking cursor and you typed in codes and stuff, and then it printed.
Stellar.
Is that what it was? And it printed on paper
Dot
that
matrix.
was all tied together with the little things you tore off the side, and it went zzz, 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 and print those things off.
We used to do those with crime history reports too, by the way.
Right? We did that with housing, and then within a year, maybe a year and a half, they switched to a web-based. And this is in Salt Lake. They switched to a web-based MLS that they were starting to develop at that point, and so. Salt Lake has their own MLS system, but they've been working on it since like 1996, 7, clear back then. Probably before that to get to the point to be able to do that. So, and then it switched. But I remember also the purchase agreement, which is called the REPSI, the Real Estate Purchase Contract, RPA down here. They put in a clause that actually made faxed signatures legal. Because up to that point, you couldn't fax a document. You had to be original signature.
Yeah. So, and I started with a book, right? I went from
He
a
used
book.
to write the book.
You know, the book was there, and that's what we used. And when we went to a computer, everybody was like screaming and yelling, "Don't take away my book!" Now we're taking away area codes, area zones that don't really mean anything. But you know.
Great. Beta's now sending people to join Keith. This show's so boring, Beta, that you want people to go join the competition.
Well, I don't know if we want Keith Lynham on here.
Oh, well, we only got 9 minutes.
Oh,
so.
good. Sorry, Keith. Unfortunately, there's not enough time for you to come on in, but maybe next time.
I do want to know where you get your seat cushions with your face on them printed. Remember those from his roast?
Yep.
Those were all over town, like wanting us award.
That was a scary night for me.
Was it? Why?
That was I was a little nervous. That was a heck of a roast, by the way.
For Keith?
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah. I just remember poor Jack Woodcock there, and I thought we were all going to
Keith wasn't that bad, was it?
No, Keith was all right. I mean,
it was the one after that.
It was the one. Yeah, that was yeah.
But I'll tell you that Keith's roast is the first time I had garbage fries from the park across the street from that place.
You got
down
that?
On Fremont
you got
Street.
that drunk to eat those things?
Oh, those things are good.
I know, but you have to be
Beta,
drunk.
tonight, garbage fries. That should be on your list.
At Fremont.
Yeah.
Look, see, great night. Keith Lynham, great night. It was an okay night, Keith, because I wasn't on stage with you.
Oh, is that what it was? Now, you're a little bitter.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
You want to know what's great about this show?
What?
Former president yourself, right?
Yeah.
Keith Lyman, online former president. Yeah. President-elect right here.
Yeah.
Never be president here.
Sasquatch. Yeah. That's the whole idea behind that leadership training, though, is to actually get you involved in the associations and stuff like that. And I think you should consider. In fact, the applications just went out for the board.
Yes, they did.
I don't think I qualify any longer.
You'd be surprised when you qualify.
To qualify for the board?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
Why?
hasn't been on a committee.
Because I haven't been on a committee in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
The last committee I was on was Trends Committee.
Well, it's time to get back involved.
Trends, Trends is a very important committee, and I think that's a great committee. And COVID hit, everything went online, Zoom stuff. I like my little place in life.
Well, and that's okay, right? And that's okay.
It's almost like working with church, and I love my church, and I love church family and everything. You can get so involved in stuff that it just,
consumes you.
But I'm very proud that I have friends and colleagues that pick up the flag. We have Vandana that knows everything there is to know about all of our bills. And
yeah, she even got an award for
grievance.
Yeah.
Is that what the
That's
award?
what that is.
That's what that's for.
If I'd gone, I'd know.
Maybe not.
But and
probably not.
Knowledge like Janet, and knowledge that Chris Bishop has, and the knowledge that Brandon has, and you sometimes have it. You taught me something last week that I didn't know.
Brothels have good lunches.
Yeah. No, it was real estate related. But
Did I drop
when
a
you're
nugget?
out there
Did I
showing
drop
homes?
a nugget on you?
no, you didn't get on. I mean,
No, drop a nugget. You know.
yeah, you dropped a
that's all that
Tom
matters.
nugget on me, and I was like, dang, didn't know that.
Ew.
You know? So that's the best thing about working for this company too, is we have and maybe when I slow down, look, I've almost got my daughters out of the house. I think I'll have to evict Sarah. Sarah will have to be evicted at some point in time. And the only reason I know that's because she told Chris when she was working for Signature, Dad will have to evict me from the house before I
So
leave.
now you know. But there was an eviction moratorium.
Yeah, there is going to be a moratorium on that at some point in time. When that happens and she's through the MBA program and Rhonda doesn't want me around anymore, I'll probably get more involved.
You're probably the one that gets evicted.
Yeah, that could be the case. Yeah.
Very good. So, what else you got, Tom? You got anything else you want to cover?
Well, I mean, if you want to talk about new homes, new home
Yeah, you
sales
had
and
some-
stuff.
you had some
I got some
stats
other
on that.
stats.
I got a question for you on new
Yeah.
homes before we go. If we got just a minute, I want to know if this is true or not. I've heard it. New homes are putting riders on the back end of their contract about time and lumber costs.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep. Wow.
Well, I mean, look, we have a labor issue, and we have a huge problem with uncontrollable lumber costs just going out of the roof. I mean, I saw one advertisement. I mean, the stupid wooden pallets, right? They used to be like $6. Now they're like $40.
I got a bunch of them.
Right?
Can I
So you
sell
can
'em?
sell them $40. So I mean, it's stupid stuff. But look, new homes is probably one of the relief valves for our current situation with not having enough housing because
I think that's what got us into this predicament too, because the lack of starts
right
and builds
because we didn't do right over the last 10 years we were way down, and right now this month of May we had 1,213 permits pulled. The month before that was only 1,088, and a year ago it was only 1,044. So that's a huge increase, and hopefully that keeps going. The amazing part is new homes have always been above a median price sales point. Not right now.
Really?
Right now we're at 385. The median sales point or closing price is only $370,000
For a new home?
for a new home. Now, that may be
That's
their
without-
that's with their base price, and then not any of
can't
the
be right.
extras
That
and everything
can't
else.
be right.
But I'm just telling you, that's what. Hey, applied analysis.
They're wrong.
They're wrong.
I just to tell you they're wrong.
Well,
And
I tell you what, find me. I'll take 10 homes at 370 right now, sight unseen.
yeah. Well, you get the base.
well, you have to bid on them, and you're not
Yeah.
going to.
But that's the way it was in last month. So that's all I can say.
Well, I can tell you this. Howard Hughes announced Thursday it broke ground on an upscale 10-story office building next to the Las Vegas ballpark and a 295-unit second phase of luxury Tanager apartment complex.
Yeah.
Needed.
Yes.
Because rental rates are going through the roof, too.
Hey, you want to talk about rental rates? Holy mackerel! I got those too.
Let's hear it.
Would you believe it that currently the average price? Well, let's go with the median price first. Median price is
I like that.
$1,700 for a rental.
Wow.
$1,800, $1,895 average price, and there were 1,690 of them that were leased last month.
So I'll tell you, I just bought a home, so I moved out of mine to rent. I got it maybe 4.5 years ago.
I bet you I can guess how much you're charging for rent.
Okay, go ahead.
I've only seen the house once when I dropped you off because I wasn't invited.
Didn't even go inside,
I
right?
wasn't even invited inside.
I don't
Hey,
blame
bring me home, would you? Well, he was in that one for a short period of time. I've been to his high rise several times.
And you'll be over to my new house when I get remodeled.
But
When lumber prices come down.
I would say $2,600.
No, but close. So when I bought it before, and I actually sold it to a
Well, it
gentleman.
doesn't have a pool. I forgot.
It doesn't have a pool, but I sold it to a gentleman because he owns one around the corner, and we were trying to rent it for $1,950, and we couldn't get a buyer. So it sat for about 2 months trying to get a renter, and then he says, "Put it back on the market." I said, "I'll buy it." So I bought it from him. I rented it for $1,600 for 6 months, right? Couldn't get a renter, so we got it for $1,600 for 6 months. Then after that 6 months went to $1,950. Consistently rented $1,950. Moved into it, lived in it for a year as I sold my high rises, but $2,275.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's too much. It's crazy. But
No.
it's, the
But if
market
it had,
bears it.
problem.
and if it had a pool, it'd have been a lot more.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's only 760. There were only 763 leases put on the market.
Mine didn't
month.
even didn't even hit the market.
Craziness.
We had
Right.
we had other ones in the neighborhood that were so similar that rented like that, and then people are like, "Do you have anything else?" Well, this one's coming up. I wasn't even ready to rent it yet. In fact, I got forced out faster than I needed to, or I wanted to.
And well, and just to give you an example, during COVID, there were over 1,091 properties listed for rent back in May of 2020.
And
Wow.
that's
And right now, there's only 763 that were
of
listed.
all of apartments, single family,
No,
luxury,
single family, single
just-
family, single
so-
family.
But single family would include the
Yeah, I don't
luxury
care
market.
about. Yeah, I don't care about.
We just need
apartment
more
homes.
housing, whether
Yeah.
it be rental or
It's yeah.
residential or whatever. So, okay, well, that was a quick hour.
It's been an hour already.
We
Keith only interrupted 1, 2, 3 times.
He was very
4
well.
times.
He was well behaved.
4
so
times. Thanks, Keith, for listening. At least.
here, yeah. Here's the thing. We're gonna have to sign off unless we got a few minutes. You could tell the story.
No, I'm not telling the story.
Okay. Well, maybe another day on Real Estate Exposed.
Yeah.
So next week, tune in. I know Shelley and Vonnon will be back. Tom and I won't be around. We'll be at state board meetings. But thanks for listening, and we'll catch you soon.
All right.